Welcome back to another video. I'm Scott with Techno Eclipse. The cat is playing with my foot right now, so it's super distracting. And in today's video, we are going to talk about why Apple has not refreshed the Mac lineup all of 2018. I'm Scott with Techno Eclipse, and I will see you after the intro. So I have 4 reasons,
not 2, not 3,
why Apple has not released a new Mac lineup this year, why they have not updated the processors, why they have not updated anything or reduced the prices, or basically have treated the consumer in a positive way. The first one, I think, is that Apple may just be waiting until Intel releases their 9th gen processors. And why would they do this? I think the reason would be is that Apple's upgrade time was typically in June or July with their Mac lineup, and that is when those processors have been out for almost 9 months. So I think what Apple is doing is that they are just waiting it out a little bit. They probably won't be updating these until maybe October or November. The iMac, maybe the Mac Pro, probably not the MacBook Pro, and then they're not going to update the MacBook Air. Or the Mac Mini, of course. Maybe they'll update the Mac Mini, actually. If they give that an 8th gen CPU, that'd actually be a decent computer. But why are they waiting so long? I think it's because Apple is like, well, our refresh cycle is not in tune with Intel's. Apple should make their refresh cycle in tune with Intel's, in my opinion. So far, it is just not in tune with Intel. And I think what that does, it forces the consumer, you, myself, anybody else buying a MacBook Pro, to buy dated hardware almost 3 months later. And understandably, technology is dated pretty much within a year after you buy it, but wouldn't you rather have it be like 12 months that it's dated and not like 2 or 3? That's just my opinion. I think maybe they're waiting. They'll skip the 8th gen, move to the 9th gen, and then with the 9th gen, they're just going to continue to refresh their MacBooks and iMacs and the whole Mac lineup like in tune with what Intel is updating their processors with. I think that could be a possibility. The second one I have is that they may actually be working on something big. There could be a redesign. I know typically MacBook Pros are every 4 years a redesign. Maybe they could be working on a big redesign for iMacs or a MacBook Pro or something. Maybe on iMac they're reducing the bezels. On MacBook Pro it could be something we've never seen before. And I'm just not sure exactly what they could be doing, but it seems like maybe there's something big in the works. I have no idea, but it seems silly to me that they would just keep waiting. When if it's just a spec bump, all they have to do is just do the spec bump on their site. You don't have to have a big press release on it. Just do the spec bump on the site and just alert people with the press release and be like, the Macs are now available with 8th gen processors. It's that simple. They don't need to have a big keynote or anything. They could just release them, do a little update to the whole website, and then no big deal. Like, that seems to make sense to me. The third thing I think that they could be doing is that Apple is basically just saying F off and you have to buy 7th gen processors, even though there are 6-core i5s available right now for your desktop. Apple, I might be making a little bit of a big mistake here, and I'm a little bit worried about what's going on over there. Like, this whole waiting for them to come out with the 8th gen processors it's getting a little bit ridiculous. I think a lot of people are beginning to know this and beginning to become frustrated and upset. These MacBook Pros from last year, top spec, are getting just worked by the laptops with 8th gen processors. I believe it's the i7 8650U. They're just getting worked by those processors and export times on Premiere Pro. Obviously not Final Cut, but Premiere, they're just getting worked. And I think Apple is making a mistake. They should have updated these laptops months ago. I would have said maybe in February or March. That way the processor's only like 6 months old when you get it, and it's still relatively new. They're not like super close to releasing the next generation Intel processor. But I think if Apple releases these MacBooks and iMacs with an 8th gen CPU in like September, October, like, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm gonna be mad. That's why I'm building a Hackintosh. And I think the fourth reason that Apple is saying we don't need to update our Macs is something that I don't know if is technically true, but maybe they're just giving up on the Mac lineup. Not like giving up, but they're like, let's worry about the iPad and the iPhone and the Apple Watch and the AirPods. And why would they do that? I don't think they're doing that, because at the most recent software event, all of the software updates were essentially for Mac OS. So I don't think they're giving up on Mac OS, which is why I'm so confused why they're taking so long to update these computers. These 8th gen processors have been in computers since like November. Like, what's going on over there? Like, and these are not just like the jump from the 6th gen to the 7th gen where it was like essentially negligible. It was like a 5% gain. I'm barely negligible. This is a like 40% gain. This is what Intel says is that one of the biggest leaps in like one of the biggest advancements in technology history. I also have a theory about that Intel was just waiting, like the last like 4 years for somebody to compete with them with a processor with more cores that's a way better value. And Intel knew, they were like, well, we have these processors already made, like the 8th gen, could have been the 7th or 6th, depending on when Ryzen came out. And then Intel just releases them, and it's like, oh yeah, and the prices are a lot cheaper. It's like, why couldn't you have had a quad-core processor for this cheap before? And it's, I don't know, it's funny. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. Why is Apple taking so long? It's super frustrating, and like it's I would never buy a new Mac. I think I've made that relatively clear in my channel. I don't think I'd ever purchase one brand new. I might, but I probably wouldn't. But like, there are a lot of people who don't like to buy used, and they're like, I don't want to buy used. I want to be able to get Apple Care. I want to be able to get a warranty. I want to be able to make sure that if something goes wrong, I can just bring it into Apple and it's not going to cost me $1. Like, I totally understand that. But like, why is Apple treating these MacBooks like they're not important? These are a huge part of what Apple does, and it's almost like they're treating the Mac lineup like it's just like this second gear. It's like, well, if everything else is good and the Macs aren't, it's okay. It's like everything should be good. Also, I live streamed last night. Thank you to the people who tuned in. I will be live streaming. I think I might do every Sunday later at night, like 9 maybe. Let me know what a good day and time to live stream was. I had a lot of fun live streaming, so I want to keep doing it, whether 5 people or 500 people join. I had a lot of fun. Again, this has been Scott with Techno Eclipse. Thanks again for watching. We're at 180 subs. That is insane. I cannot believe we're that high. That's awesome. Thanks again. Thank you so much, as always, for all the support and everything. And I will see you guys in the next video, and have a happy Sunday. Peace out, and have a good week. I'll see you during the week.